This next lesson is on adding integers, and in this video I'm going to show you how to add them regularly, or I'm going to show you how to add them using a number line. So when you're first looking at your problem to solve, you want to look and see if the numbers have the same sign. If they have the same sign, then it's a little bit easier. So when they have the same sign, you just add the numbers together and keep their sign. So for example, if we have two positive numbers, so if we have a positive plus a positive, our answer is going to be more positive. You may ask why. So when you're adding a positive number to another positive, it makes you more positive. So if I have $5 and I get $4 more, I'm going to increase up to 9. Okay, next, if you have a negative plus a negative, your answer will be negative. Adding a negative to another negative makes you more negative. So for example, if you owe me $1 and you owe someone else $1, you're going to be more negative. You're going to owe $2. So adding means combining. So when they have the same sign, you just add the numbers and keep the sign. Because obviously if you're gaining or becoming positive, you're going to keep going positive if you add more positive. If you're negative and you keep going more negative, you're adding more negative to it, you're going to keep going further negative. If your numbers do not have the same sign in your problem and they have different signs, then you cannot just combine them together and keep the sign. What you're going to need to do is you're going to need to subtract the numbers and you're going to take the sign of the greater number. So we know a negative means to take away. So we would need to subtract. So if there's a negative in there, that means you're going to take away, which it should if there's two different signs. One's going to be positive, one's going to be negative. If you are taking away more than what you have, you become negative. If you are taking away less than what you have, you are still in the positive, but at a lower number. So your numbers will be changing, and let's say if you're taking away more than you have, then that means your greater number is negative. If you're taking away less than you have, then your greater number is going to be positive. Let's look at some examples. So the first one has a -1 plus a -5. So -1, -5, they have the same sign. So remember said when the numbers have the same sign, you can just combine them together. So what is 1 plus 5? We know 1 plus 5 is 6. Since both numbers are negative, our answer is going to be -6. Our second problem is 4 plus a -8. Looking at these numbers, we see that they have different signs. Our 4 is positive, our 8 is negative. So you're going to want to subtract them. So we know we're going to do 8 minus 4. So our answer is going to be 4, but do we know if it's going to be negative or positive? So we're going to look at our numbers. We know 8 has the bigger absolute value. It's our bigger number. Okay, we're taking away more than what we have. We only have 4, and you're taking away 8. So our answer is going to be a -4 because we're taking the sign of the bigger number. So integers can be very tricky, so that's why I like using visuals to help us understand it better. I'm better at understanding when I'm seeing what I'm doing, and I'm sure many of you are like that as well. So I'm going to show you how to use a number line when you're adding integers. So a couple things you need to know. You must always, always, always start at 0. Once you're at 0, your first step is that you're going to look at the first number and move the amount of units. Obviously, if it's positive, you're going to go to the right. If it's negative, you're going to go to the left. Once you have your first move, then you're going to make your second move. From there, you're going to move the amount of the units for the second number. So let's look at this picture. So we have 6 plus 3. Okay, we've seen that problem ever since we were probably kindergarten, first grade. Okay, you start at 0. They went to 6. And then their second number tells them to move 3 more. 1, 2, 3. That's how they got their 9. The second example, it says -6 plus 3. So they started at 0, and they came over here to 6. Now it wants us to add 3. So adding means to the right, and it's also positive, so you're moving it into right or increasing. So they're going 1, 2, 3. Gives us a -3. This bottom one's a little tricky. We have a -6 plus a -3. So again, they started at 0 and went to -6. Now usually when we see plus, we assume that we're going to go to the right, because most of the time when we're adding something, your numbers are increasing. But we're actually adding more negative. So that means we need to go into the negative direction. So you're still at that -6, and you need to add 3 more negatives. So since they're negative, we need to go to the left. 1, 2, 3. So that's how they got a -9. Let's do a couple more examples with the number line to help you understand. So our first one has 5 plus a -2. So I'm going to start here at 0. That 5 tells me to go to the right since it's positive. So I'm going to stop right here. From here, it says to add a -2. We see add, so we assume that we're going to go to the right, but since we're adding a negative, we're actually going to the left. So go to the left, 1, 2. So our final answer for that one is going to be 3. Okay, this one I'm going to do in red. We have -3 plus 6. So again, you're going to start here at 0. You're going to go to the left because it's negative. So start right there. It's telling us to add 6. So we're adding, and it's a positive, so we're going to go to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, what a coincidence. We got 3 again. Okay, this last one, we have 2 negatives. So we're again start at 0, go to -3. So we're going to start here at -3, and we're going to add a -4. So adding, you think, oh, we're going to go to the right, but it's a negative. You're adding a negative, so you need to go to the left 4 more units. 1, 2, 3, 4. So our answer is actually going to be -7. When you're adding 2 negatives, you're going more negative. So those are examples of using a number line. We'll talk about it more in class tomorrow and go over more examples.